So in this video, we're going to be talking about the diffusion capacitance of a PN junction diode. And the diffusion capacitance is the first step in creating a linear model of the diode. So in decomposing the diode into a set of resistors and capacitors that approximate the diode's behavior. And so to do this, we need to figure out, first we need to answer the question, what is a capacitor? Because in this video, we're going to be focusing on part of the capacitance of the diode model. Well, we can draw on our intuition from physics. We know if we've got two parallel plates and they're spaced some distance apart, and I apply a certain voltage to them, we're going to have a certain charge plus Q on one plate and a certain charge minus Q on the other plate. And there's going to be an electric field that develops between these two plates. And we say that the capacitance of this parallel plate structure is just equal to the charge that accumulates on the capacitor plates divided by the voltage required to apply that charge. But in circuit analysis, we're not interested so much in absolute quantities. Often we're interested in changes in quantities. So if I apply some voltage plus a delta V to this system, I'm interested in how the charge changes. So I'm not interested in the absolute Q. I'm interested in the relative change in charge. And so I could define capacitance differently by saying that, well, if I'm only interested in changes, then the capacitance is just equal to the change in charge over the change in voltage required to get it. And for just simple linear capacitors, these definitions are exactly the same, because the change in charge of a linear capacitor is just the total charge, and the change in voltage is the total voltage. But the diode is a nonlinear device, so this is actually a more appropriate, and more than that, a more useful definition of capacitance. And this is the one that we will be using in basically all of circuit theory from this point on in trying to approximate nonlinear behavior. We want to apply a small voltage delta V and find out how things change in response to that, and then create a linear model from that. So, okay, well, let's take a look at our diode and let's identify some of the sources of charge in it. If we've just got our simple PN junction diode, it's got our depletion region. It's got some charges here inside the depletion region. That's a hint. And in addition to those charges, we've got minority carriers. Assuming we apply a certain voltage to this diode, say a positive forward bias to it, then we've also got some excess holes, delta P on the N side, and some excess electrons, delta N on the P side, or sorry, delta P on the N side and delta N on the P side. And so collectively, all of this charge gives rise to a capacitance. And so we're interested in how the total charge changes in response to voltage. And so the charge clearly has two different components. First is the depletion region charge. And second is the charge from the minority carriers, or the diffusion charge, if you will, because this is a diffusion capacitance. That's the name that was given to it a while ago. And so in this video, we're not going to be focusing on the depletion region charge. We're going to leave that for another video. In this video, we're interested in the minority carrier charge. Or if we're interested in how this behaves as a capacitor, we want to know if we have some DC voltage V0 and we apply a change in voltage delta V, then what happens to the charge carrier distribution? Well, we know just from our exponential dependence, we calculated the charge distribution in previous videos, And we saw that delta n as a function of the diode voltage is just this constant, the equilibrium electron concentration on the p side times e to the vd over phi t minus 1. So we'd expect as vd becomes vd plus delta v, we'd expect the electron concentration to increase, or we'd expect the peak concentration to get higher and the concentration over the entire diode to increase. And same for the hole concentration. We'd expect the hole concentration to get higher. If we instead applied a negative voltage, then we'd expect the electron concentration to be lower throughout the entire diode. And same with the hole concentration. So we're just going to straight up try and calculate the change in charge delta Q. So in order to do that, we need to calculate the total charge as a function of the voltage. And then we can figure out what the charge is at some V naught plus delta V and subtract that from the charge at some V naught minus delta V. And that's going to be our overall approach. So in order to convert we have an expression for the number of electrons at the surface as a function of V. And if we're interested in the total number of electrons, we're going to need to know how the electrons look throughout the entire diode. So we're going to need the x dependence on it. If we want to convert from charge into or from the carrier numbers into charge, we need to first multiply by the charge per carrier. We also need to multiply by the area because this is a charge density and it's a volume density. And then lastly, we need to integrate the charge density in the x direction. So we need to integrate from x equals 0 at the edge of the depletion region, so x equals 0 is right here, to x equals infinity, far, far away from the depletion region. And we need to calculate that delta n as a function of x dx. And so it's a function of x and it's a function of voltage. But right here, we're just pretending that the voltage is whatever we say it is, and we're interested in integrating as a function of x. Well, if we actually want to carry out the integral, then we need to say, well, let's pull out all the constants first. So q times a, and then we're bringing this expression in here. So np naught is a constant, e to the vd over phi t minus 1 is also a constant. And so the only thing we need to do is integrate from 0 to infinity e to the minus x over ln as a function of x. And if we do that, we'll just get the following expression. We'll just literally bring an ln out front. So ln qa np naught e to the vd over phi t minus 1. And so this is the total charge due to the electrons in the diode as a function of the voltage. And you can see that it's a nonlinear function. And so if we're interested in creating a linear model out of this, we're going to find the change in charge, delta Q, instead of the total charge. So we need to take the charge at two different voltages, ideally two different voltages that are pretty close together. So we're going to say that VD is equal to V naught, and we're interested in evaluating it at some plus delta V over 2 and some minus delta V over 2. And over 2 is just so that when we subtract everything, it's nice and symmetrical, and we get a total delta V just of amplitude delta V instead of 2 delta V. So if we just plug this in, let's plug in V naught plus delta V over 2 and V naught minus delta V over 2. You'll get this whole equation that delta Q is just equal to the same expression, Q ln, so all the constants aren't going to change, A times NP naught. And we've also got this constant term out front, e to the V naught over the thermal voltage, which gets factored out of all the expressions, the subtracted expressions. If you do all the math, you'll find this to be true. Times e to the delta V over 2 phi t, minus e to the minus delta v over 2 phi t. And you might notice that this is just our old friend sinh. So we can write it like that just to make it look a little prettier. Instead of having to deal with two exponentials, we can just write it as a sinh. So our delta q then is q ln a np naught, so many constants, e to the v naught over phi t times 2 sinh of delta v over 2 phi t. Now, in general, this is a nonlinear function of the voltage, and we said that we wanted a linear model. So we want to relate delta q, we want it to be a linear function of delta v. And we know that if delta v is much, much less than 2 phi t, which may or may not be realistic, but we're going to assume that it is, then sinh of x for small x is approximately just x. So we can just get rid of this sinh entirely and rewrite delta q. I'm not going to repeat the constants. I'm just gonna erase the sinh up here. So instead of sinh of delta v over 2 phi t, and we need to keep the factor 2 up front, it becomes 2 times delta v over 2 phi t. And so the 2's cancel. Again, I'm going to erase them so that I'm not crying having to rewrite so many things. And we're left with this final expression. Delta q as a linear function of delta v. Or if we're interested in the capacitance, which is we defined earlier as delta q over delta v, that's just this expression, e to the v naught over phi t, all divided by phi t. And so this is our diffusion capacitance, C diff. Now this is only the diffusion capacitance due to the whole charge. So we also need to add in the diffusion capacitance due to the electron charge, and we just replace n with p, and everything else remains exactly the same. So e to the v naught over phi t, all divided by phi t. So this is our final expression for the diffusion capacitance. Now, there's one more correction that we can make to it, and that's to make it more generally applicable. In general, we're not necessarily interested in going from one voltage, just from one voltage to another. We're not interested in making that transition once. In general, we're interested in how this diode will behave in response to sinusoids. So we're interested in the time averaged behavior. And for that, we need to throw a 1/2 out front. That's the time average of a sinusoid over a single period. And so that's the first component of our diode linear model, the diffusion capacitance. Fortunately, it's also the most complex one, so the others are significantly simpler. In the next video, I'll go over a simple example of this to sort of hammer everything in, and just so we can get a sense for the numbers involved. So hope to see you then. Thanks for watching the video. Again, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to post them down below. And thank you all for watching.